From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Welcome back to another episode of The Horse's Mouth, Movers and Shakers, where we highlight those who are moving and shaking here in St. Augustine today as we are on site at Stretch Lab St. Augustine Beach. I'm Morgan Allen, joined by the Stretch Lab franchise owner, David Ramos. Thank you for being here.
Thanks and welcome.
Thank you so much. Fantastic studio. I love this place. Yeah. I just wish I was getting stretched right about now. This is it always puts you in the relaxed mindset whenever you walk into the building. So I love it.
Well, we'll have time afterwards.
Perfect. And we have some special guests here today. We have Matt and Sandy Rieder with Renew Strength and Wellness. Thank you guys both for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thanks, David.
Welcome.
All right. So Matt, tell us a little bit about Renew Strength and Wellness.
Okay, so we are a small physical therapy studio, and we started out because we noticed that there's a gap in physical therapy and healthcare for a certain group of people. You know how if you're an active, athletic type person, you know, you like hiking, working out, things like that. Once you hit a certain age, like maybe 40, something like that, stuff starts aching, starts hurting, stuff like that. And maybe you start hearing, hey, you need to start slowing down. We fix that. We help people in their 40s and 50s and younger, if necessary, sometimes it happens earlier, overcome pain and injury, and then develop a habit of strength training and exercise so that the results stick, so that they can get back to doing whatever they love for the rest of their life.
That is amazing and so needed. We were talking off set and you were saying you do more of a holistic approach, a whole body approach, starting with the feet. So Sandy, will you tell us about that? How you guys start with the feet and work from there?
Well, I'm actually going to give that over to Matt because he is the foot guy.
I'm the foot guy.
That's great.
Not in a weird way. So I always start with the feet because the feet are the foundation of the body. And if your feet aren't able to move the way they're supposed to, the rest of your body is always going to be making up for that. So feet can be the root cause of knee pain, back pain, hip pain. And if you're only focusing on where the pain is, then you're only hitting like a small part of that picture. So in addition to the feet, we also look at the whole body at once. Because if you're an active person who likes athletics, you know that your whole body has to move at once. And if you have knee pain and you just look at that knee pain, you're missing everything else and you're missing the big picture. And that holds a lot of people back from getting the results they're looking for.
And tell us about the foot scan. We were at the Bridge Alliance 5K.
Right.
And I got my foot scanned.
Right.
And you said my foot was perfect, which was great.
Yeah,
you one of them was
really good. Yeah, you had one really good foot, and that's great. That's a lot better than most people.
So tell us about the scan though, and kind of what the process and how that aligns and informs the rest of what you were talking about.
And what makes a good foot?
Okay.
I want to know.
So, okay, that's a great question. I'll start on that. Your foot has three main jobs. The first job, when it first hits the ground, it needs to flatten out a little bit. That's shock absorption and that's stability. And then at some point, you're going to want to pick up your other foot and you're going to be standing on one leg. That's how we step forward. When that happens, it has to create what we call a stable tripod. That's a nice stable platform for you to balance on one leg. And then at some point, you need to move forward, right? So you want to push off. And when that happens, the foot needs to be able to create a nice arch because that creates a really strong lever for you to push off of. So the foot scan is a way for us to test to make sure your foot can do all three of those things. It's a piece of paper, it's a little drawing, and based on that, I can see if your foot can do what it needs to. And that is a really important tool for diagnosing not just foot pain, but knee pain, hip pain. If you have IT band, it's really great for runners and walkers, weightlifters who are struggling with their deadlifts or squats. It's really important and informs me about how the whole body is moving.
Wow, I need to come see you guys. It's just one of those things that I think everybody needs and they don't know they need it until you see or feel it.
That's right.
It's interesting you say that because we'll talk to a lot of people and we'll say what we do and they'll be like, okay, that's neat. And then later on in the conversation, they'll be like, oh yeah, I do have this pain. And we'll look at it and there's some real stuff going on that needs to be handled. And once that gets handled, it really changes how you move, because we get used to moving a certain way. And our normal might be here, but once you get that handled, your normal goes up to here, and it radically changes how your day-to-day life goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some other things that just set you guys apart from a typical physical therapy business?
Okay, so in addition to starting with the feet and doing the whole body approach, we also believe that it's very important to develop a strength and fitness habit. We want all of our clients, once they're done with us, we want you to be able to squat. We want you to be able to deadlift. We want you to be able to bench press. And we want you out there either walking, running, biking, maintaining a fitness habit, because we've found through experience, and the evidence supports this, people who strength train and stay healthy, they have less pain, they have better function, and they're able to do the stuff that really matters to them for the rest of their life.
Which is so important. That is longevity, that is joy that it brings you, everyday endorphins that we all need, that a lot of us are missing out on.
Yeah, right on.
Yes.
And I like to say what sets us apart too is the accountability that we give. Matt worked a lot in regular physical therapy, and people only did their exercises when they went into the clinic.
That's true.
So our goal is for them to build a daily habit. So we have an app that we use, and then I check in with them weekly. And if we see that they haven't done their exercise in a day or two, it's like, hey, what's going on? If they don't check in with me, I give them a call. Sometimes it's a family thing. Sometimes it's a pain that we have to address. We modify the plan because we want them to be successful. We understand that people are very busy. And so that's how we get them to instill a lifelong habit of taking care of themselves, saying yes to themselves.
And that's a great approach, because that's what we do as well, is that modification and ongoing. So many of our clients will come, they're coming out of PT, and I love what you said about making sure that they can do certain physical activities, because PT really only typically, you see, like you said, focuses on that injury area. I know for myself, I had my rotator cuff done. I was through PT and they only worked on this area, right? So I'm still strength training this a year later and trying to build, because it was so narrow focus. So I love that broader focus, that customization is a very similar approach that we take. And when someone's coming out of PT, we're looking at that whole body and looking at what their needs are and tailoring that. So it's great.
We had a funny story. We met a lady once who also went to PT. I think it was her knee.
What was your knee?
And she said they only gave her exercises for her one knee. She goes, well, what about the other knee? So she was always known as the lady who wanted exercises for both knees. So that won't happen at our place.
Yeah, we'll make sure you get
body.
exercises for both of your knees.
That's so important. I love that. So I was going to say, is your accountability an a la carte service? Can I ask your services at 5 o'clock on every morning?
Well,
actually,
just shoot me a text and say, hey, are you making it to the gym this morning? Because that's what I'm looking for.
Actually, yes, because we interact with you through the app on your phone. We're always right there in the back pocket.
Cool.
That's a really important thing with a lot of physical therapy and medical stuff. You only get to talk to your provider when you actually take off of work, take an hour and go see them. For us, if you have a question about your exercises or something else pops up or anything, you just message us and we're going to get right back to you. I always tell my clients, this isn't like I see you and you go out the door and I'm like, good luck. It's an ongoing conversation, because good rehab is a collaboration. You have to work together. There has to be that constant communication. And fortunately now through technology, that's possible. Even for really busy people like entrepreneurs like you guys, we work great with that, because you can cut out those few minutes to talk to us and we can handle it, and you can do your exercises whenever it fits your schedule.
And we do a lot less visits than a typical clinic does. So you're not coming in 2 to 3 times a week. You're doing a lot of your work from home.
That's really great.
The time you spend with us is very well spent. It's not like you come into therapy and just do the same thing you did last time. When you come in, I'm going to reassess to make sure everything's going the right direction. And when it does, I'm going to give you all new exercises to take you to that next level. And if anything isn't moving forward, that's when we go into detective mode and figure out why. And because we always do one-on-one, I have the time ability to do that detective work to get people on track.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how long have you had this business?
So the business is kind of new. We've been doing this for about 2 years. I've been doing physical therapy for 18 years now. And you
I've
can tell how long you've been a nurse
I've
if
been
you
a
want to.
registered nurse for over 25 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've seen all the different ways physical therapy gets done, and we're really excited to do it this way.
Yeah. And then it's available with insurance, but also cash?
So we
Or-
are out of network
Okay.
with all providers, and that's very intentional. It's important to understand that whoever is paying for the therapy decides exactly what happens.
Yes.
So when you pay yourself, I'm able to focus 100% of my attention on what's going on with you. And we do really focus on the individual. We always start out with a free consultation call, and on that call, I find out what's important to you, what matters, what are your goals, what are you trying to get back to, so that when you come to the clinic, I'm not just giving you the standard exercises for a shoulder or a knee. I'm giving you exercises so you can get back to yoga or get back to hiking, or what do you like to do, David?
Those things.
Okay, so with your shoulder, I would give you specific exercises to get you back to hiking and yoga and all the stuff that you enjoy,
Right.
instead of just, I need to make sure your shoulder does this and then we're good to go.
And not just the one shoulder, you can work on
Yeah,
two
we're
shoulders.
going to get both of your shoulders and your neck and your upper back and your hips, because all of that plays a really big part in that shoulder recovery.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, anything else that we left out that you guys want to highlight today?
I think that the biggest message I would have for everybody is that just because you've tried physical therapy in the past and maybe you didn't get the results that you wanted, that doesn't mean physical therapy is never going to work. Just like there's different types of cars, there's different types of physical therapy. I've worked with a lot of people who didn't get results in the past, and we were able to get them results. So continuing to pursue and hope is really important. And we always start out with a free phone consultation to make sure it's a good fit before anybody makes any decisions.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today and for sharing your passion and expertise with us.
Absolutely. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
We really
Yes,
appreciate
thanks for
it.
having
Great
us.
to
Yeah.
meet
Yes.
you. Yes. And viewers, we thank you for tuning in to another episode. If you want more information about Renew Strength and Wellness, you can head on over to dailynewsnetwork.com. Check it out right underneath this video. You'll see their profile and many others right there. We'll see you in the next episode of The Horse's Mouth Movers and Shakers.